I fought for years to get to him, and now I keep pondering running away again. 24M, high functioning. Hate that term, but it gets the point across to the average person, disabled and trying to somehow slog my way through the job market into a decent career. Partner 24M is similar, but with much more serious physical limitations, living on disability income. Initially stepping in to help him when he needs it was never a problem for me. In fact, it felt almost sacred. You mean I could be of real help to someone who loves and understands me as a person, and I get to show my love back in this additional material way? Hell yeah, let's do this. I found my purpose by your side, and I still don't know if that's the reason I feel this way lately. It's not that he asks too much of me. It's just that, well, for some reason I can't think when we spend time together anymore. I cannot think. My creativity just fizzles out after minutes with him if I'm not alone, and trying to work on projects or on the book I want to write feels like this insurmountable thing when he's close to me. Is it my attention span dwindling because we spend too much time watching random things together and not enough time gaining new experiences because of being financially limited? Is it the fact that I basically wind up playing nursemaid on days when he has flare-ups and can't do a lot for himself, cooking, cleaning up after himself, etc., and any energy he does seem to have gets to be poured into whatever project he's working on, whether it be something for our pets or some decor/craft he wants to hang up. And I feel put upon and jealous of the fact that he gets to be creative whenever he feels like it while not trying to make it his occupation, and meanwhile I have to plan my time for inspiration around his needs, and can only make progress on trying to get my creative career and livelihood off the ground when it's the dead of night and he's sleeping? Is it the fact that he has always, from when we were long distance before to us living together now, been cavalier and somewhat inconsiderate about the fact that despite my tendency for a strange sleep schedule, I have to sleep sometime and won't let me, as in he talks about me going to sleep as if it is me choosing to leave him alone or something, and that usually makes me feel bad enough to cave in and tough it out, even if I'm dead on my feet tired, when I need to, but I always let him rest when he needs to because I know his physical condition requires more rest than sometimes expected. I wish I didn't feel like this. Not this. I miss our early days together, before his condition got worse, and before I started being so tired that I forget myself this way. I feel so rotten and ugly for feeling and thinking this. His mother is his official caregiver and is paid to help him with the basics when it gets bad, but she only comes over once every 2 weeks or so, and seems to be content letting me pick up the slack as his flare-ups become more and more frequent and severe, just because I'm his partner, and because they're allowing me to rent in the same house to stay close to him. I think they forgot I'm a whole person. They're religious and homophobic and have always been ambivalent toward me despite the tenuous mask of politeness they usually have, which does little to hide the disgust in their eyes when they look at me. Besides this, they have a history of causing my boyfriend psychological anguish. Growing up in a strict religious environment as a queer individual was torturous for him, and so asking his parents to come help him out more during his flare-ups seems like it would be equivalent to betrayal on my part, especially because he can never actually fully be himself around them. I watch it happen. He puts up some kind of front to protect himself when they're around, never telling them much and often deflecting. Is the solution to look for a new caregiver for him? Probably. But the government loves to drag their feet on changing anything for disabled folks. And my BF especially has had a difficult time getting even just the medical care he needs covered, let alone things like subsistence funding for living expenses, which he fought long and hard for. I don't know what to do. I feel stuck, and I don't want to leave. I just want things to be better for us both, so we can both live the lives we want as individuals while being together. This is a Reddit post, so I have glossed over innumerable positive details about us. Please, for the love of God, do not tell me to leave. That would just about end him. I recognize that the impulse to run that I described in the title of this post comes from years and years of never living anywhere longer than a couple of years, and always looking for a sense of belonging that can only come from internal stability. And if I had his blood on my hands because I acted selfishly and impatiently off of what is basically a trauma response, I could never live with myself. I know this feeling will pass once we have more under our control. Just tell me if you or someone you know has been in any type of similar situation and got everyone involved to greener pastures. How the hell they did it? What do I do from here?